Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Well, another day of awesome fundamentals. The price might still be slumbering a little bit somewhere, but it's actually not too bad at the moment. So we're going to get into all the key details. We're going to be talking about Michael Saylor's strategy and stretch, how that's buying Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about Bitmine immersion and how with Tom Lee and how that is buying Ethereum. So we've got some structural support in play now as we vampire the whole traditional markets. We're going to give an update, of course, on the Clarity Act and where that's at the moment. We're also going to be looking at a few other bullish fundamentals coming through as well. So we'll talk about that later on. We're going to get into Lady Liberty. Lady Liberty, boy, oh boy, oh boy, is this thing about to scale to a couple of levels higher. We've had some pretty big teasers there from LibertySwap on Pulse Chain. So let's get into that. I call it the Kraken on Pulse Chain, right? They're building out quite the ecosystem and also putting capital behind the protocol. So exciting stuff to see that. Let's see DG and Hexkin in house. Hey, good to see you. 5555. Yeah, we've got a little Hexes on, I think, a little bit of a bounce at the moment. But man, it is massive volumes right now, right? Massive volumes to be picked up on Pulse Chain. Are we at the bottom? Question mark. Are we at the bottom? We might look at that later on. That could be something very, very exciting. So we'll do that actually. We're going to look at the Pulse chart and see how that is going. I might as well bring it up now while we're waiting. Now, if you're new to the channel, of course, don't forget to smash the subscribe button on the way in. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels, The Crypto Night Show, Superman Crypto, and Pulse Chain X, and also streaming live on X platform as well. So definitely give us the follow on X and subscribe on YouTube. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, let's get into the show. And don't forget to get in the comments. We love all the comments. Don't forget to repost the show on X. Really helps a lot there. And that'd be great. So let's get into it. We're going to kick it off with the stock market. And here we are. Stocks kick off April on a strong note after Trump says Iran asked for a ceasefire. Now, obviously, Trump seems to be interacting with maybe perhaps more moderates. But, of course, the regime, the old school, saying, no ceasefire, no ceasefire. So we've got a little bit of, a back and forth going on there. So we'll see where it all lands in the future. But so far, this is where we're at. And we're probably expecting it to go within the next 2 weeks if Trump timeline is hit. That's kind of the window now. So we'll see how we get on. Now, Dow Jones at the moment was up 0.5% actually, 224 points. We can see that, and if we look at the last week, we can see how we're tracking there. Quite a little rally since the 30th there on the move, so not bad. Now these are Wednesday's results, presumably. Yep, S&P 500 up 7,200%, 46 points to 6,575. And there we go. Better read it out differently there. Nasdaq there is at 1.16%. Let's say 250 points to 21,840. Almost confusing myself there, but you can see we're up on the week there, up quite nicely. US dollar is sitting pretty flat at 99.4, and the VIX there is just down slightly from yesterday. It was just over 25, now 24.5. So a bit of risk on is back in the market. Looking at West Texas, we're at $8.66. So the good news is we've gone back below $100. We're down $1.46, and the Brent oil there still simmering around $100, and that is down about 43 cents there, but just under 0.5%. So we're getting a little bit of relief in the oil prices. Gold at the moment pretty flat at 4,800, and silver there is just down 0.5% at $75.64 there on the old silver there. All right, so that is some of the insights on the markets. Now, we had a few updates from Trump. Trump on Wednesday said in this Truth Social service that Iran's new regime president is much less radicalized and far more intelligent than his predecessors. has just asked the United States of America for a ceasefire. Obviously, we've probably got competing factions at this stage of the breakdown. Obviously, the US and the Israel are hitting them pretty hard all over the place. They've pretty much got free movement to do what they want. We will consider when Hormuz Strait is open, free and clear. Until then, we are blasting Iran into oblivion, or as they say, back to the Stone Ages. Now, one thing about that is that they pretty much are on a hunt and destroy mission. So obviously looking for the rocket cities underneath the ground. Some of them may or may not be accessible by the powerful rockets that America's using. Obviously, America's not going to use their truly elite weapons because they probably blow a hole in the planet. But we got certainly them hunting and destroying, and they may do other things like special forces and all sorts of things to get to destroy some of those tunnels. Markets remain very headline driven at the moment, particularly around oil prices and developments tied to potential ceasefire. Investors are taking some comfort from signs that negotiations are underway, even as key risks remain, most notably the continued disruption of the Strait of Hormuz. That's from Chief Investment Officer there from Trues. So it's kind of where we're at the moment. Let's see what else we got here. There's no doubt that yesterday's rebound has been impressive and helped along by pullback in oil prices, but the situation is muddied due to the end of quarter position squaring, obviously the end of March, that first quarter, and it's also challenging to express just what investors are pricing in and what they're not. Investors may not be factoring in the economic damage already done. So they're probably more talking about some of the oil trade routes there. And obviously, the leftist governments have been exposed with the net zero because they've been, taking out all their fossil fuel technology and putting in expensive renewable technology, right? So that's caught them out, as we always knew that would be, right? There's no difficulty there. Investors may not be factoring in that. Production has been halted and will take time to restart. And the Strait of Hormuz remains effectively closed, although ships have been going through. Stocks indices were due to rebound, but the test will now be how resilient the current rally turns out to be. So we'll keep watching that. All right, so that's some of the things there. What else we got going? Importantly, this rally is occurring against the backdrop of a meaningful reset that took place prior to the bounce. We note last week that valuation sentiment and technical conditions had all improved. S&P 500 valuations had compressed to roughly 19x, I should say, forward earnings from about 23 at the peak. Isn't that crazy? So quite a big difference there, making them a lot more attractive. Well, technology valuations had fallen towards 20x, nearing the lowest level since 2023. So you're basically getting, a discount in the market due to this this Iranian war or conflict, depending on what you want to call it. So that is pretty cool. So there we go. All right, so we're going to keep watching that. What else are we going to say about that? I think that's kind of it here. Obviously, Strait of Hormuz there, getting all that. So that is some of the highlights there. Let's jump into the crypto markets. We've got Tam in the house. Hey, Tam, good to see you. Welcome to the chat. And a big shout out there. We've got Bitcoin at the moment. Let's have a look at crypto, though. 2.43 trillion is up 0.1%. So we've got a little move there. Bitcoin at the moment is at $68,223. That's up 0.5%. Ethereum there up 2% at 2,138. And we're going to be talking about, obviously, we've got Michael Saylor and Tom Lee with their digital asset treasuries buying up Bitcoin and Ethereum. We've got BNB at the moment down 0.9%. It's $610. XRP is up 0.7% at $1.35. Number 7 is Solana down 2.2% at $81.13. Tron is up 0.8% at 31.5 cents. And then we've got Dogecoin there up 0.1% at 9.2 cents at number 10. So those are our big moves. The winner again is Ethereum. I tell you, Ethereum's been looking good. Anyway, let's get into the top performer, top 100. We've got Allegrand up 17%, Zcash up 9.1%. Precious little Zcash. Midnight is up 8.2%. Stable is obviously at 7.3%, and Just There is 7.3%. So pretty modest gains. Allegrand, the only one in the double digits on the top 100. Top 1,000, we've got Stakestone up 127%. Lorenzo up 42%. And Ontology there up 46%. Trending overall, Stakestone, I should say, Siren and Drift Protocol are the ones trending right now. Big correction on Siren there though, 51%, guys. Woo! Okay, so that's where we are right now. The majors are looking okay. They're looking okay. Let's zoom in on Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin on Coinbase, and we can see that we've got the yellow line, which is the 50-day moving average at 70,850. We've got the 200 moving average at 84,775, and we're currently at 68,436. So we need a little bit of a move to get back into over the 50-day, and that is 3.6%. So not a lot of, that's nothing in Bitcoin, is it? So we're just looking for that, and we're still in this trading range sideways here. And we got the little down mark. We hit 60K back on the 6th of February, down towards the bottom of the rainbow zone. So the power law, we're pretty much down there right now. So that's exciting. In other words, we're in the buying zone. We're in the buy zone here. Or some people call it the cheap zone. We're kind of in the cheap zone. We're not in the super cheap zone. That's the next level down if we decide to go there. But most likely we're in the cheap zone. And so a good accumulation zone for the old Bitcoin. All right, so that is where we are there. Let's jump over to the big buyer. So we've got structural support in this Bitcoin chart, and that is Michael Saylor's, perhaps it's the iPhone moment, but we've got the preferred stock here targeting the traditional markets with credit. That includes the money market, bond market, private credit markets, and it's worth hundreds of trillions of dollars. We're vampiring that, right? Vampiring that, and looking to take more and more of that supply. So pretty exciting stuff there. Looks like overnight we vampired quite a bit. Let's refresh this because I just want to make sure it's the latest and greatest numbers. But this is the stretch ATM at the market. So it's not ATM machine at the market there. And basically the way this works is that stretch is priced at $100. If the market will move above and below it, anytime it moves above $100, they can issue more stretch shares, raise capital, use that capital to buy Bitcoin, and that is accretive to MSTR, the common stock. So that's kind of it. And all they do is they trade off some of the yield that they're expecting over time. That's kind of the idea. And they have just started printing again. So we can see this week, or last week we had nothing, but this week we had nothing on Monday, but Tuesday we had $51 million of volume estimated at the market proceeds, so $51 million. And they ended up buying another 758 Bitcoin on Tuesday. Wasn't that awesome? So not having to issue MSTR common stock issue there, and of course that's can be dilutive, but they are actually raising capital here and buying Bitcoin. Very cool. So Wednesday they which we just finished, they got $13 million of at the money proceeds. So in other words, once it goes over $100, they make money, right? Which was 15% of the time. You can see up here, 15% of the time it was over $100, and so they were able to issue shares and raise money. And they raised, they had basically 13 million, and the average price was $68,400 in Bitcoin. So they're able to buy another 186 Bitcoin so far, just in 2 days. So the 31st of March and the 1st of April, they've managed to buy 944 Bitcoin. Now remember, this goes ex-dividend, I think, on the 14th, or 15th. So that normally means the 14th. And that means that they've got quite a few days ahead. I'm not sure how it's going to play out over Easter, but they've got quite a few days ahead before to raise more capital and buy more Bitcoin. So we saw last time it was huge, the amount of Bitcoin they bought. And so are we going to get this again and again and start building and building? Once confidence comes into the market, more and more players start buying stretch. The other thing that we're seeing with stretch is that we're seeing other financial providers come in over the top and make it more accessible to a lot of other corporate players and institutions by making ETPs and other things like that. So we've got Strive out there and several other exotic companies doing some cool things on the back of stretch. And it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Very exciting there. So 944 Bitcoin. Yum, yum, yum. Just eating. And of course, if it goes into the strategy, it's presumably just going to be held forever, essentially. And of course, what did Michael Saylor say? He's going to buy all the Bitcoin. Now, the other cool thing is that on Tuesday, it bought 168% of the miner supply. So every day the miners producing about 450 Bitcoin a day. And of course, we're about 2 years away from the next halving. And so at the moment, on Tuesday, they were basically buying 168% of the Bitcoin on the market more than the miners were producing. On Wednesday, it was 41%. So, 40% or so of what the miner's producing. But we're going to watch this do some pretty powerful things over time. So it really is a game changer, and it's just the beginning of this. So we're going to watch month after month, and this I think is going to be super exciting. The iPhone moment. Woohoo! Vampiring the. You got to remember, there's some really bullish things going on, right? So we've got monetary supply just keeps increasing. The US dollar keeps kind of getting devalued. We saw, things like that happen. Obviously, we had some bond buybacks today from the Fed, but we're essentially seeing a lot of money printing happening and things like that, and therefore Bitcoin becomes more powerful, right? Even gold is inflationary, right? There's more gold coming out all the time, and but Bitcoin, it's we've got a bit more Bitcoin coming out, but it's essentially a fixed supply. We're over 20 million. We're only ever going to have 21 million by 2141, and we got the next Bitcoin halving in 2 years. We haven't had the big banana raise that we were expecting last year. Remember that? It has not played out, but I just think it's delayed. That's it. And now we've got these digital asset treasuries buying up the Bitcoin and bringing all that capital from traditional markets. I think it's truly going to be a glorious run ahead. So excited about that. We also got ETF buying, right? So, and we've got all the big banks coming in: BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, and many others. So Vanguard, they're all coming. So kind of cool. All right, so that is the big news there. Now, Ethereum at the moment is looking a bit better, and that's what I said. Ethereum's looking a bit better. In fact, Ethereum's looking like it's if it breaks out, it could be quite aggressive, quite a violent. Do you like the word violent? The violent. What's that old classic show they go? I think it's Pride and Prejudice, is it? Where the guy goes, the cousin goes, the violence of my love, or something like that. It's a pretty funny line. But we're here. We're here at $2,152. We got the 50-day at $2,158. So even though we need a 3.3% rise for Bitcoin, we're virtually on the 50-day here, which is pretty cool. We're only $6 below it at the moment, and so keep a look out for that. And we've got Bitmine emission. So we had strategy, digital asset treasury. We've got ETFs running, ETPs running on the old Bitcoin. We've got that happening on Ethereum too. And of course, this is exciting. So recently, of course, BlackRock doing the ETH ETF, and that means they buy ETH and they stake it for the yield. And of course, we see the staking queue getting really filled up, which is pretty crazy. So we've got this moving up at the moment. So this is actually looking very explosive on the old Ethereum there. And like I say, we've got the 200-day moving average at the moment, $2,724. So that's up here. I think we're looking pretty good here. So let's go to the monthly chart here on Ethereum, and you can see that we're really winding up, I think, for an explosive move. I think it's going to be quite glorious with these Ethereum's ETFs, and of course the digital asset treasury led by Bitmine immersion. Many other the smaller ETF DATs are probably going to die away in some form or another, or at least to sit there. Many of them are trying to do all sorts of bad stuff, bad governance. It's bad governance when you come in and then decide, we're not really going to be doing this or that. We can't do this or that. We fail, and they go off and do all sorts of weird things. They try to sell. Well, at least there's a Bitmine immersion there to buy it up. So they're basically going to be the sovereign puts, both strategy and Bitmine immersion. There'll be one or two other digital strategy, digital asset treasuries that will do well. But these are the two kings, right? These are the kings. They're going to be the cornerstone institution on the blockchain. Obviously, we've got IBIT as well on Bitcoin ETF, and we will have some of the ETFs do well. But really, it's going to be the digital asset treasuries that are going to be the market makers. They're going well beyond just being a treasury as well. They're looking to get all the wealth over from traditional markets over into the blockchain. So we now got market makers that are able to bridge, that know how to play the other side, and actually bridging, setting up the mechanics to do that, and the partnerships required. So it really is game on from now on. And you guys are here at the right time, right place. Cheap asset prices relative to the power law and everything else. So I think we're looking pretty good. On the 12-month 50-month moving average, we're at $2,481. So obviously that's going to be a pretty key line there. A lot of people also like the weekly chart, right? The weekly, and we can see that we got the weekly price up here for the 200 at 2,583, and we got the 50 weekly average at 2,834. So obviously we're looking for a bounce. We certainly don't want those to cross, but looking for that to bounce a bit like this here, what we saw back here. So keep a lookout for that. But I think, we're setting up real nice. And let's look at what else is going on with the digital asset treasury. Well, we had the release that Bitmine bought 75,000 ETH last week. And we got that update on Monday, so only a couple of days ago. And now we've got Bitmine buying another 45,000 ETH today. So they've just continued to buy, guys. Another $95 million in Ethereum has been bought by them, buying every single week, approaching the 5% of all ETH, right? That's their target there. Now, I did tell you, the guys, that technically they could go to 10, even 12% without affecting the network effect there. But 5% is definitely the target they've got, and should be done by the end of the year. They've got to balance their cash position. Remember, they had about 1.2 billion. They've been doing some buying some other companies and stuff like that, because they've got a bigger vision, right? A bigger vision than the digital asset treasury. And of course, they, being the market maker, they're trying to bring over the new monetary system, all that sort of stuff, and mass adoption. So there's a lot of stuff they're doing, and they're putting money into those key pieces of the puzzle. And so that's pretty exciting. And we're talking about 8Co, WorldCoin, AI, digital ID, which we're against in DeFi, and of course big financial apps and Mr. Beast. So you got all that stuff playing out there. OpenAI as well. All that stuff in the I guess the what do you call it, the weapon store for a Bitmine immersion. So it's going to be quite incredible when it plays out, and we're looking at that over the next 18 months in particular. So kind of cool. And so they continue to buy. The other thing they did overnight as well, they've staked some more Ethereum. I don't know if I've got it here right now, but I think they staked another 117,000 ETH. So this is exciting. They're ramping up to their full staking. So I think they're pretty much with this 45. That would take them. I think that would take them about. I think they've got about just over 4.8 million ETH, maybe getting close to 4.9. And they've staked about 3.2, maybe 3.3 of that now. So they're just starting to ramp up the staking of ETH, and the staking queue is pretty full. Last time I checked, I think it's somewhere between, is it about 2.5 million ETH at the moment trying to go through. I think it takes about 50 days to actually get staked. You're sort of in that holding queue. I think it's about 50 days, plus or minus. You guys can go check yourself, but I think somewhere in that ballpark. But they're earning about 2.8% once they get it staked, which is pretty exciting. So everyone, their total target is 6 million ETH. Remember that? 6 million, I think 32,000. So they've still got a little bit to go, 1.1 million, something like that. They're still holding probably about at least 800 plus a million in cash. And of course, every time the MNAV at the moment, I think, is below. I think it's about 94%. So they had typically been slightly above the MNAV. In other words, the value of their stock was worth more than the value of their Ethereum holdings and their other portfolio, other parts of their portfolio. But they're back down to about 94. They were a bit lower in the week, so you probably got the best prices on Bitmine in the last week. And of course, that will probably limit their cash raising. They've got to get above. They've got to be accretive, right? Which is one of their principles they're holding to. So they've got to wait till the MNAV gets over 1, and then they can raise more money to buy more ETH and buy other acquisitions as well. So Tom's not mucking around. Tom is playing the big game, guys, and therefore he's taken his moonshots as 5%, and he's putting it in very targeted positions, and he's going to bring all these pieces of the puzzle together. All the key players, Sam Altman, Mr. Beast, all that sort of stuff, all going to lay out into the new monetary system. Going to be pretty exciting stuff. And all the payment layers going to be on Ethereum, right? Going to be on Ethereum. We already see stablecoins booming on Ethereum, tokenization booming on Ethereum, AI going to be payment system on Ethereum, creative payment systems on Ethereum, and it's exciting, guys. And obviously we've got Vitalik, coming back to first principles there too on the chain as well. So we're getting some good stuff generally happening there in the old Ethereum. The other thing we've seen this week also is the ETH org staking all their ETH, right? After selling 5,000 ETH to Bitmine, they staked the rest of it from the looks of it, and they're going to be earning a yield that way too. So it's looking good, guys. So ETH is disappearing. ETH is being bought up by the key player, and we've obviously got big ETFs coming in for staking yield as well. And of course, that is bolstered by the fact that the Clarity Act and the stablecoin there yield has essentially been won by the banks at this stage. Although I do think there's some innovations around that we may see in the future. with the old stable coins. Obviously, you can still do active yield, which is what most of the DeFi is anyway. So we'll keep a lookout on that space. We've got Craig Pitt in the house. Good morning, all. Good to see you, Craig. Welcome as usual. And so that's kind of where we are right now. So things are looking good, man. The fundamentals looking good. The ETH chart's looking better than expected. And of course, we've got, heading in some pretty positive territory with the Iranian conflict as well. Now, some of the other stuff we've got that we're going to talk about is this chart set up for ETH, which I think is pretty awesome. So the ETH to Bitcoin ratio, obviously Tom Lee talks about that all the time. And of course, we can get up to 8.9% at the peak. I think it was 21, wasn't it? Yeah. Then we could have ETH, way up. I think it's was at $12,000 or so. So we're getting up there. And Micro to Macro says when Ethereum breaks out its almost 10-year-old downward trend versus Bitcoin, it's going to get insane. And that's what Tom Lee's banking on. That's what we're banking on as well. I personally think FundStrat's BMNR is the best way to play this move. Obviously, there are a few issues with leverage plays. But I think we're at the right time in the cycle for it to play out in the leverage, right? As the leverage, they are some solid diversification strategy, and I love the guaranteed revenues from ETH staking. It's currently around 177 million in revenues at the current price, but once they hit their goal of ETH purchases later this year, staking coins would probably be between 266 million to $1 billion plus. If we get to the $7,000 to $10,000 range in Ethereum, I think we could hit this this year or next, and I'm pretty positive about that too. And you can see that ratio chart there from Ethereum to Bitcoin, right? And we're currently around about 3%, 3% at the moment. So, if we get up to the all-time highs, I think it was 21, was it? Yeah, or at least local highs, we were back up here, and that was almost 9%. So you could see a massive re-rate there. Now, obviously, if Bitcoin rallies, and of course now we've got strategy buying up all the Bitcoin and the ETFs coming in as well. We've got a big chance that we're going to see a re-rate of the percentage there, man. And I know Tom Lee's got 25%. So if Bitcoin does get to 1 million, and it's like almost a 20x, maybe 18x from here, and then we're at 25% ratio. That's $250,000 per Ethereum. So just think about that with the magic carpet ride on Pulse chain, with how thin the liquidity is right now, and Richard Hart having big bags of Ethereum. It's billions and billions and tens of billions of dollars. It's pretty crazy, and just a fraction of that would send Pulse Chain to the moon. So pretty crazy times. So that is some of the moon math there going on there. So exciting where this could head, guys. So keep a lookout for that. We've certainly got all the right catalysts to make that happen. Now, obviously, moving forward, let's go a bit further here. We obviously got the Clarity Act. Now, the Clarity Act is not a done deal, right? It's not a done deal. It's desperately needed because it will give that final regulatory clarity, at least in the United States, right? But remember, the United States is the one that's booming. It's the one that's wealthy. It's being run by Trump and his economists. They're doing a great job. Forget some of the news stories you hear from the mainstream media. They're really trying to undermine it. Obviously, the Iranian conflict and dealing with some of these big long-term issues is always a problem. So we saw that last year. Trump had to fix up all the problems that globalists and Marxists had set up under the Biden administration. And it was full of corruption, full of geopolitical issues not dealt with, not just during the Biden administration, but over decades. And so Trump is looking to fix up as many of those as he can. Unfortunately, it creates volatility, but it actually is going to make the world a safer place. And we've still got a battle on. The battle really is, from the looks of it, Middle East looks like it's going to be settling down for at least for a period of time. I think well in the future it's going to have issues, but for a period of time it looks like it's going to have a relatively modest issues there. And I'm not talking about some of the skirmishes going on in Syria and places like that, but I think that it's the biggest problems we're going to have is in the West, because we have globalists and Marxists destroying the West, right? So they're actively destroying the West, and none of them care. They're all pretty bad people, and so they're going to leave a mess when they're finished and done, right? We have seen a bit of a pushback politically with some of the parties moving forward, even in Germany and places like that, but we've got some pretty insane leaders in Spain, France, Germany. Germany's a little bit better now, but we've had some pretty bad ones like Merkel, and of course we've got lots of issues down under as well in Australia and New Zealand. There are really bad issues there. So we don't have what America has. Trump. They have Trump making America safer, making America more prosperous, and doing some pretty cool things, dealing with some of the big risks in the world, like terrorists with nuclear bombs. We don't need Iran with a nuclear bomb, and of course they would do it in a terrorist fashion. Suddenly it would just pop up, and before you know it, things are gone. So I'm actually pretty happy about all this being dealt with. Should be done decades ago. And for those of us that have been following this for decades, we've had to listen to liberals and now progressives who are even more crazy, more bad, just not to actually make problems worse. And now they actually side with all the terrorists. So we got all the left and the Marxists and the globalists siding with the terrorists. It's just insanity. And so we're in a pretty bad situation everywhere outside the United States, with a few exceptions, maybe Poland and a couple other countries, but it's pretty bad in the West right now. We do have a rise in people waking up to this. We have got political parties rising, but is it going to be enough? That's the question. Is it going to be enough? Well, fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll get there in the end. But in that time, we've got these globalist Marxists fighting Trump, right? They're trying to fight Trump, and that's what Trump is doing. So if you think Trump's just, goading them, no, he knows they're bad. He knows they're fighting him. And so he's going next level on them, right? So that explains a lot of his behavior with them. Remember, he always plays out of the deal. Out of the deal is how he does things. You can see it constantly when he does his gaggles and everything else. So it's exciting times, because he's going to head us back to common sense, which is kind of cool. And he's going to do it in a way that really messes with the mind of these evil globalist Marxists running the rest of the West, right? So it's going to be good. It's going to be good at the end of the day. And we're still expecting some huge numbers from all this capital expenditure over the last year. Remember, it's been like 19 trillion, unbelievable numbers, and we're expecting that to play out pretty well with the AI and energy infrastructure in particular. That's going to boom, boom, boom. So exciting things are going to happen during the next 2 years. Now, that being said, we've still got the midterms. We still don't have particularly favorable numbers at this stage for the House, and the Senate is going to be dubious. It's going to maybe 50-50. I don't know. We'll see. So we've still got the battle, and of course, Trump can't lose the House and the Senate. That's going to be pretty bad, because these people are evil and bad. I mean, these guys are nutters. On the Democrat Party, they are you're basically asking for a modern form of the Nazi Party to get in just about, and they will all hell will break loose. They don't care that there's no safety on the streets, right? So they just flood through lots of murderers and everybody else. They let them kill people, and then they arrest the innocent people, right? The innocent people will get arrested, is what we're seeing in the UK. And this is injustice. They turn everything upside down, and that is the pure definition of evil, right? Where you don't get justice, injustice is justice, not injustice is justice. You know what I mean? It's pretty crazy stuff. So that's kind of where we are. So we've got short-term pain, but I think for long-term gain. And so we've got to get this Clarity Act through. And let's hear a little bit of the update here on this from Coinbase. We've got the Coinbase representative here. I think it might be the CEO. Not CEO, but his representative there. Let's hear the update here.
Senator Tim Scott, who, of course, introduced the Clarity Act, I think believed, and many did, that we were going to have a resolution of this in the fall of 2025. It has gone on much longer, this argument, than many believed. But talk about that 48-hour time frame. Do you really believe that we're going to have resolution in 48 hours after all of this?
I'm very confident we're going to see progress. And the reason for that is we need to finish the job. It's true, the Genius Act passed last year was a watershed moment for crypto and for the crypto economy. For the first time, we had sensible rules in place that govern this important part of crypto. However, it's important that we provide a full market structure into which the crypto legislation from last year can fit. And that's what Clarity fundamentally provides. I do think that it's important that we finish the job, in particular on deciding which tokens, which crypto projects really should fall to the jurisdiction of the SEC on the one hand, and which really are better served by oversight over at the CFTC. I think Chairman Scott deserves a lot of credit. He has certainly been persistent, even patient, as we've worked through a lot of these issues. I think that with all the progress that we made over the last several months, it's exciting to see that we're moving towards a markup hearing in the Senate Banking Committee, hopefully as soon as in the next few weeks, and ultimately a floor vote and passage of the bill with a signature by the president to follow.
Okay.
All right, so we're kind of looking like if we can get all this stuff out of the Senate, and then I think we've got the markup and edit, I think even as early as this week from Loomis. And so hopefully we'll get this all done by April, and then maybe back to the House, I think, by January, and they want to get the president's desk by 21st of May. I think that's kind of where the timeline is. I think we're looking at a 50 to 60% probability at the moment. So I think it's slightly in our favor still, but maybe not 80%, right? Maybe not 80%. So we'll keep a look out for this. It is pretty key. If this fails and the Democrats end up, later on getting in the midterms, we won't get it through this year. That would be disaster. It just puts some way more risk on. Now, if Trump can get the Iranian thing out of the way and the GDP numbers start playing out as we expect and everything else, then maybe the midterms won't be as bad. So we'll keep looking at that as well. We might cover some of those data. Depends on who you're asking, right? Depends on who you're asking there. So that is some of the update on the Clarity Act. We also had probably even more bullish in some ways is the ISM manufacturing. Now, obviously, this is, some people are into the 4-year cycle, but others see that the ISM is actually one of the key drivers of the bull market for crypto. And for goodness sake, it's finally after 2 years or something. It has been almost 3 years. It is finally broken above 50 and consistently starting to move higher here. So the ISM there, the manufacturing index, if it's over 50, it's expansionary. And we can see that on these other periods, so we've got 2013 here. We got here the down there 50, so that line is 50. And let me just see if I can make this a bit bigger. Let's see if that's a bit bigger there. It's better. So this line down here is 50. So anything over it is expansionary for the manufacturing. And you can see we've been below it all this time. Terrible, right? Terrible. And that's a lot of fallout from the Biden era, right? So the only thing Biden really benefited from, he did all his bad decisions, but the only thing he really benefited from was Trump's tax bill from the previous presidency. And that's the only thing that kept him up, right? Kept him up, job employments and things like that. And so here we are, manufacturing started to really die away, which is typical of the Democrats. And here we are coming back up again. And so we've just got over 50. Yeah, I think it's 2 months in a row. And we are now starting to move up. And it corresponds very well with the Bitcoin price. So you can see that here. So we're down. We started exploding up to the right there. So that banana move and Bitcoin ran, right? So we had that here. A banana move, right? So we started moving up in the manufacturing index over 50, expanding, and we had the banana move, right? Now, we've been stuck in this big, largely below 50 for about two or 3 years. And we really didn't get the banana explosion in the Bitcoin price, right? We had a nice little rally and then it's all come down. We really didn't get the steep move that everyone was waiting for that we saw in 21 and 2017. And so we could be looking very good for that right now. With the manufacturing index starting to grow. So exciting times, guys. And if you match that with the power law curve, we are getting very close, guys, because the power law, they're down at the cheap buying price for Bitcoin. And so these two things are lining up very nicely. And these are probably the two most reliable indicators, and it's looking good. It's looking good. So feeling good about that. And so, if the Iranian thing dies out within a week or two, we could see quite a good run here. Remember, a lot of monetary printing's going on, etc., all the rest of it. Bitcoin is such a good store of value, and now we've also got finance coming over to Ethereum, right? So that's kind of the big mega plays going on, and they're all converging. So let's keep a lookout for particularly the second half of the year, but looking good at the moment, I think, and maybe a few more months, maybe April, May there to pick up some more cheap bags before it really starts to run. So that's kind of the idea. And with the only real risk is the midterms ahead. So we'll try and track on some of that stuff too. All right, so that is pretty cool. That's going to lead us into Pulse Chain, but we've got Frank White in the house. Say bang, bang, Pulse gang. Good timing there, Frank. All right, so let's get into Pulse Chain. Now, obviously, Pulse Chain, wow, it is all-time lows coming off the bottom. OMG. What else can you say? It's been pretty crazy, but we're on day 1056, and I can see it now. I can see in the future a chart from Richard Hart showing the bottom, and I don't know if it's going to show 10,000x, but it's going to be pretty. It could easily be, given the amount of money you could have, and if Ethereum goes to where we think it's going to go. But nevertheless, there's going to be some massive chart saying with those big little square little rulers on it, saying, "Look at what Pulse Chain did." If you managed to have been here if you lasted more than, I don't know what, there's going to be 12, 1300 days by the time we get to that, something like that. Maybe it's going to be 1500 days. I don't know, you decide, but I can see that in the future there coming up. And see, I told all you all you losers, all you cryfaggers, as Richard will say, and he'll have that post those charts. I can look forward to that. It's going to be funny. All right, so and everyone else that survived is going to go, how did I survive this? How did I survive? How did I last this long? And then all the others that didn't last, they'll be like, what the fudge? I've been ripped off. Why did I sell my hex? Why did I sell my hex? Well, heaps of videos like that, be a bit like that. Anyway, we're on day 1,056 right now. We're still near the bottom, so you can still pick up the big volumes. We've got Pulse at the moment, 50771, up 2% right now. We're at 0.0x of the sacrifice price, the mean sacrifice price, pretty crazy. PulseX at the moment is at 50611 at 1%. The buy and burn at 8.79% based on GoPulse numbers. Like I say, Pulse Chain Stats has a higher number. I think it's close to 9.2%. Ink Token at the moment is 0.36%. That is, 0.36, 36 cents. That's what I mean. So up 2.8%. Boy, I've had a bit of trouble with speaking today. Sorry about that. I do apologize. It's a little bit off today. Yesterday I was flowing. yesterday. A little bit of trouble. But we got the total fixed supply essentially fixed, right? Because inflation is virtually nothing. We got 56 million coins. Hex at the moment is at 1400th of a penny, up 3%. So Hex is the best performer at the moment. Pulse Chain. EHEX, by the way, guys, has gone back over 0007. So we're back at over 0007. I remember we were only down at 0005, wasn't it, the other day? So that's a not too bad gain. The ratio is 1 PHEX will buy you 2.02 EHEX. So it's still around 50% on the ratio there. Let's jump over to the gas prices. Gas prices. We're going to gas prices first. 872,000 beats, pretty much what we've had the last couple of days. 0.2 of a penny for a PulseX swap, pretty cheap. Validators at the moment, 50,128. And the bridge there is at 70.35 million. So yay, we're over 70 million, guys. We finally got there after several days. We're back there again, 70.3 million. Nice stuff there. And of course, ETH and Bitcoin up a bit helps there. Now, one thing I will say is apparently there's been a bit of trouble with the public RPC node. You might have had a few issues in the wallet there. I think I experienced some of those. But there are alternatives out there. I think LibertySwap posted one of them the other day. Maybe we'll check that if we have time. So you might have to just note that you might have to switch your RPC node around there as well. All right, so that is the old Pulse Chain. Let's jump over to the best performance. Well, at the moment, ZKP from Kairos at Emmett Farm, and they got ZK, first real protocol built on top of, ProveX, and that's up 18%. So nice little bounce there, and the volume is sitting around 5,500. So they're still earning their ProveX tokens. We got the world's greatest P-dye printer from OG WebChef up at 10%. Teddy Bear from James and Maria. We were saying this, was it yesterday or the day before? Where's James Maria? Has he got, what's he going to do? Now, he's definitely got ETH and some firing power out there, and of course, his bot mechanisms and trading and arbitrage and things. So, we're just looking up for him, and then suddenly he pops up, the almost 10% up there on Teddy Bear, 9-10% there on all those pairs. Look at them dominating there, along with the Troper, right? Along with the Troper up 9%. Then it comes down to number 11. Gizmo is up 7%. Some more treasuries, Reserve Tay there. I think they're all those James Maria, all those look domination. And then we get into some of the PCock coins. So we've got Zen there with PCock up at almost 6%. And I think they're doing a lot of DeFi protocols, over 10, I think it is. We've got UFO from PDC up 4.7% at number 15. Number 16 for Investor, the OG WebChef grandparent, there up 4.6%. Most, one of our top meme coins there, up 4.5%. Dominance from OG WebChef up 4.4% there. And then we've got a couple of Hex pairs, Pulse Puppy, Pump Tires at the moment up 3.75% there at the moment, and so on. So yeah, Unity there as well. Now Unity is matched with PulseX. That's from Cryptographics, and they have applied. I think it was for was it CoinGecko? I think they've just applied for CoinGecko listing, something like that. So that is a little bit of news there for Unity. What else is going on? Liberty there at the moment at number 25 is up 3%. Halgo, a Hex derivative, up to 3% there. What else is going on here? Let's scroll down here a little bit there. We've got Stake ETH at number 32, up 2.6%. Emmett from Kairos. So it's sitting at $1.08 right now. So congratulations there, Kairos. That's up 2.6%. Essentially one of our best, if not the best, overall farm on Pulse Chain, offering high yields. Just had their 1-year birthday. That was pretty cool. Now, Vouch, arguably still our biggest valid, I believe. I'd have to double check, but I still think it's the largest one. Valid X, I don't know if it's flipped that or not. It may have. They had a big Vouch valid leave or something. But that is up 2.4% today. Let's have a look else. What else we've got? We've got Curve. Now, there's two curves. I got caught out the other day with the two curves, but the CVRE here up 2.3%. 9mm, the DEX, had a little bit of a run the other day. That's up 2.3% at number 43. Scroll down here a bit more. Solid X at number 48, up 2%. So we've got a little bit of movers here, all slightly beating Pulse Chain, wasn't it? What was Pulse Chain against? Go have a look at Pulse Chain just to remind me of what they are. Yeah, 2%. Okay, so 2%. So yeah, we haven't got that many of them. Probably about 1/3 of the coins are beating Pulse at the moment in the trending coins. So that's pretty much it. A few honorable mentions here. Let's have a look. We've got Mafia from Rack and Michelle sitting at just below 30 cents, up 0.5% there. Stacks and Savannah in the house. So Savannah from another farm token there, and Stacks at a 3%. We've got Ink Dollar from Fast Abdul. It's holding stable at $1.01. A little premium in there. And then we've got PC the Greys about break even on the US dollars today, sitting around number 67. So 2/3 either in the green US dollar wise, but I guess down against Pulse. Top Hat's trying to sneak in there as well. Not quite making it. And PCC the Greys, the main peers, down here at number 76, down 1%. They're sitting currently at 0012. Where they get up to about 000156 the other day. Provex at the moment, the biggest peer, is at number 80, and it is down 1% right at the moment. So have a look at little Richard Hart's Provex, and we can see that it looks like it has found the bottom. We talked about that the other day. We're on the 4-hour chart here, and it bounced off here. So it looks like it is trying to climb and get a new high. What it does need to do, I think it needs to get to 67. It needs to pass by 67, probably 6,800. It's at 6,200 right now, so keep a look out for that. And definitely a bullish sign would definitely, if it gets over that 7,000, that'd be pretty nice. It's got the room to do it on the RSI, on the 4-hour, and the daily there. Of course, it recently printed a RSI around 50, and so this is actually probably looking pretty good now. I think it's looking pretty good. Trying to fight to move up is what I would say, and it's, I guess, got the room to do it. So there we go. There's some good news story, not the bad story that I was telling, which played out. But the good story could be it's going to have a little, maybe need a little bit more consolidation before it moves up. But certainly got the promise there. Not guaranteed promise. Is that different? Is it promise and guaranteed? But anyway, we got that going on right now. So look at the market caps. We're at 79 mil. We did bounce into the top of my range because I felt like it's pretty much worth 60 to 75 mil relative to Pulse and PulseX and stuff, all that, which already got running businesses. This is still in beta, and so yeah, that's kind of where we are, 79. So we'll see how we go. If it fails here, it particularly fails to get back up here a little bit higher, it could come all the way down and get right into my zone. And that'd be pretty Nostradamus, wouldn't it? Pretty Nostradamus of me. not the final prediction, but up there. So we're still apparently about 90% in the money for the best sacrifices set, which is Bunker Mental's Provex pool, and apparently they're still 90% in the money. But look, those guys are in it for 1,000 X's or something. Who knows? Well, there's always different parts of the ownership that have ownership pool that have got different expectations, right? I just want a 2x. I just want a 5x. I just want a 10x. So you got to go up through the range there. Bucket Mentors, who's got most of his coins free, is just like it's infinite x, right? It's infinite x there. I guess he's got a little bit of cost, so you could say it's not the case. You got to set up the website and things, I guess. But that is the place right now on the old Provex, one of the Richard Hart cores. Where else are we going here? We've got PCock at the moment. It is sitting around 1.32 cents. Looking pretty good there. We're going to talk about that in a minute. True Farm at the moment from Daniel and Neil. That is 72%. Another high yield farm there. You can check that out if you're after high yield. Emmett and True Farm doing pretty well there. And we probably need to do a show on all the farms, including Island, Function Island, Nexian and others. Kind of cool. That is where we are. I guess the worst performer, SCADA, down 8.8% today. So there we go. And Sun Minimeal, saw Sun Minimeal at 5.2 cents. They are not using their buy and burn very much. They must have, I don't know, I'm guessing they've probably got 20 million plus now in that damn buy and burn. Damn, bring it to Pulse Chain. Why go Solana, man? Just use that, like, pull that capital into Pulse Chain, bring in the institutions from Europe, and pump Pulse Chain, man. What is with that guy? Damn Floyn. You got to blame it on Floyn. Floyn. Damn you, Floyn. Damn it. Wolfgang, come on, man. Wake yourself up. You did all that work to set up on Pulse Chain. We're similar to ETH chain. We're going to get the love, man. None of that wild, none of that stop the Solana chain and all that. Come on, let's do it. All right, so there we go. Those cries will fall on deaf ears, no doubt, because I don't speak of the German, the Deutschlander there. All right, let's jump over to Pulse Chain. Let's have a look at Pulse Chain right now. We're at 507,664, and we are below the 21 moving average, which is at 50841. It seems pretty crazy, right? Because we used to be talking about 4 zeros all the time, but lo and behold, this downward chart. damn you, downward chart. But here we are. It's a buyer's market. The amount of volumes, all I can say is when we get down here, the amount of volumes you can pick up is crazy good. At the moment, let's do a comparison. At the moment, you can pick up 1 billion Pulse. It would have cost you at the sacrifice $85,000 plus or minus. There's a little bit of variation there depending on multiplier, but essentially around about 85K. Now it will cost you 7,650. So there we go. That's huge difference, right? So you're getting mad gains here. What's 11, 12x or something? So huge gain there at the moment for volumes. If you bought up high and your portfolio was down low, well, you have the opportunity to buy low and pick up heaps of volumes and lower your average down dramatically, which means you only need a little bit of uplift to get back into the money. Now, if you are doom and gloom about Pulse Chain, you think it's forever down coin, you think Magic Heart Ride's not happening, all that sort of stuff, then you have to decide what you're going to do there. Obviously, nothing's financial advice. You got to do your own diligence and make your own decisions. But if you are bullish about it, and maybe this blue line plays out, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe it's going to play out a little bit later. Maybe it plays out here. It's a give or take. But I'm feeling pretty bullish about the second half of the year. So that's pretty much the second half of the year. So let's see how that all plays out. Going to be fun. All right. And Ethereum's going to be a very key indicator. Remember last year, Christmas video? Richard said, I'm not interested in altcoin season. I'm interested in Pulse Chain season. What have we seen them do recently? Well, we obviously got ProveX launch, token launch, beta launch. We've seen inflation cut, etc. Richard being pretty active on social media. He is on the move. And what did he say? He is working. And so he's doing his playbook. Now, when ETH opens up in price, that means his financial bags go up to the moon. All that stuff, whatever he's got left from the AA lobby, Hex A lobby, whatever he's got from the PulseX, ProveX, Sacrifice, all that sort of stuff is there. Whatever, and of course he has his own private bags. Bitcoin mining in March 2011, ETH mining in 2016. He's got all that stuff, all the airdrops. He's there. So presumably, if he is as diamond hands as he has indicated in the past, then his personal bags must be pretty ginormous as well. So if ETH decides to do a 5x, then all his bags go 5x, including the sacrifice set. And of course, that is a huge amount of money, right? On thin liquidity on Pulse Chain, it is easy to pump. Even shaving a little bit off every year is huge. Now, Tom Lee talks about the 10-year cycle for the maturity of transferring a lot of the value from TradeFi into crypto. It could be massive, right? So he could be laughing himself all the way to pumping the bags for glory there. It's my chain. I outdid you all right? So that's kind of the play there. That is the old Pulse Chain. So we'll keep a lookout for there right now. All-time low. It was just checked in, right, on the weekly charts, and we got down to 506983. Yeah, I said it was true. We got the weekly moving average right now at 1461, just by comparison there. So we'll see how we get on. And the RSI is skimming along the bottom. Look at that. But look, it's done this before. Skimmed along the bottom, and then it had a rally in the RSI. Look at that. Boom. And so I presumably we're going to be up for a pretty awesome rally. Look what we had last time we had that. That was pretty cool. So keep a lookout for that. Going to be fun. All right, so that is the old Pulse Chain. Let's jump over to the juggernaut, the Kraken on Pulse Chain, LibertySwap. I mean, we are lucky to have them. They are building out the frontier, truly frontier of DeFi. We've got a lot of great teams on Pulse Chain, some of the world's best developers on Pulse Chain, but these guys are doing it the right way. They're doing it the top end of development, and they're doing it rapidly. So we're not waiting 2 years, 3 years for the greatest idea. We're getting some of the best ideas and they're rolling out rapidly every month just about. And sometimes we get 2 big things dropping, and then a whole ton of other stuff filling in the gaps. So these guys are crushing it. And now they're about to scale to the next level, guys. They are scaling to the next level. It's going to be truly the juggernaut on Pulse Chain, and it's multi-chain, right? So their vision is multi-chain, even though it's based on Pulse Chain. They are multi-chain offerings, and of course they bring all that value in. And of course, PCock is the official coin there. They will have 2 coins though. They're going to have the ZKX coin, and of course that's going to be airdropped to PCock holders. Now we don't know what percentage and the allocation for that. So there's still question mark over there, but I suggest you probably the bulk, and let's see what happens there. The bulk will be PCock. They obviously keep stuff for LPs and all sorts of other things they're going to do, but that's going to be a DAO token, right? And probably a yield token too, which I've also teased about. Now I suspect we've got this wallet coming up. We're going to have a DeFi lending coming up. We're having market maker liquidity yield offerings. So they're coming into the yield phase now. So they're coming into the phase where they're offering yield products. And this is pretty cool. So you get to participate in their success and all the volumes. And they're about to open up the volumes, right? So this is a big deal. The volumes is where you make all the money. And they're about to go next level. This is where they're scaling with the volumes. So hopefully there's some of the big picture items. And it just feels not too far away. It feels like maybe a stable coin's coming. Do you kind of feel that too? I just feel like that's probably on the horizon there. And this all lines up with Richard Hart's vision, but it fills it in, right? So Richard Hart may have said, this is an idea, this idea, this idea. Well, these guys are actually filling it all in. And it's pretty good. It's pretty cool, pretty exciting where they're heading. So testing all hardware we have with ZKX wallet. The wallet works well with Trezor and Ledger. It still needs some work with SafePal and Keystone. All the Pulse Chain infrastructure for the wallet is built in-house. So that's what I'm saying. This team's not your ordinary beer, is it? They're building it all in-house here and used exclusively for the ZKX wallet users. Now, remember, this is kind of like a hybrid wallet, and as far as I know, it hasn't been done before, where you're matching the privacy features like Railgun and all that, and you're mixing it in with the normal wallet. And so now we're going to have this fantastic new hybrid wallet. And as far as I know, it's the frontier of DeFi. Not aware of anyone else that's done it. You can let me know if anyone else. But this is very exciting, and this is all in-house. They said it's built in-house. It's infrastructure, so it's got to be bespoke and unique to themselves. So it's pretty exciting. And they're just when they did LibertySwap V2, remember that they were upgrading it. I think at the end of last year, in the new year, they were talking about hooks coming in, and I'm not sure if anyone really picked up on that. I'm sure there are plenty of people that did. But basically, that meant that they could just add these modular DeFis to their system and just explode it out. And that's what we're seeing happen. It's really exciting. Here we are just turning into April, and they've already dropped, LibertyX and other things. So it's absolutely amazing. So excited about this. This month looks like they were going to be dropping this wallet, and that means Pulse Chain is going to have another awesome wallet on Pulse Chain. It's wonderful having internet money. They've done amazing on Pulse Chain. I think they just hit about 117,000 downloads. And we might actually go have a look at Internet Money Wallet in a minute. But they've also, got on all the 3 major platforms like the Play Store, etc., and over 190 countries or whatever it is, 40 blockchains. So, Internet Money does really well, and you earn from all the swapping fees. So it's kind of got that DEX feel as well. Now, all the Pulse Chain infrastructure for the wallet is built in-house and used exclusively for ZKX wallet users, allowing us to freely optimize the user experience and make it closer to Solana and other fast blockchains getting there. So really exciting about that. Isn't that great? This is very, very cool from LibertySwap. All right, so that is kind of cool. That came out, but there's more. So 18 hours ago, to say good night and good morning, Pulse Chain. Get ready for some huge news. Brace yourselves. April Fools is coming. Yeah, that's true. I've seen a few of those out there. What else there? We got Mental Game. He's an influencer in the community. He says here, PCock Pulse is continuously making new all-time highs. This protocol and team behind it, LibertySwap, is the Pulse Chain secret weapon. And of course, I call it the crack in a Pulse Chain. So yeah, it's pretty fun stuff happening there. Let's jump into the next update. So just try adding some LP for PCock, which is kind of cool. So they've set up a Ethereum pool there. I think they've got a post up here a little bit. Let's go up here for that. 10 hours ago. In the last few days, we have bought around 10 Ethereum from other income sources. Should we add this ETH to PCock LPs using our PCock supply, or just swap ETH for PCock? Pros of adding ETH to PCock LPs: diversify PCock's LPs and offer more upside. Slow grind up if ETH performs well from here. Cons: ETH can go down or up. We don't know the market. So that is what they've done. They've done PCock and ETH there. I think that's a good move. and sets us up well there. So kind of cool. Just try adding some LP for the PCock there with the ETH and the PCock. Let's see how this goes. We have a great time ahead, stocking up on Pulse, especially ETH and stables. So they're building their capital formation and expanding that. So super bullish there for the old PCock. Who is trending? Apparently PCock was. I don't know if that was April Fool's, but definitely trending there on Blockcast. Blockcast, of course, has 55,700 followers, kind of like a news channel for crypto on X, and has covered PCock and LibertySwap a couple of times now. Kind of cool. Crypto Coffee, essentially probably the largest influencer of Pulse Chain, says crypto, if you want to report bugs on ProofX, you can do that. So we get nice interactions between LibertySwap and Crypto Coffee as well. Let's jump through this stuff. Let's see here. We're going to scroll up a little bit more here. Let's keep going. Let's see here. 5 hours ago, just a friendly reminder, we have a one-way bridge from Solana to Pulse Chain. Now, obviously, there was a bad event on Solana, so they're trying to say, hey, look, you can come to Pulse Chain there. Richard Hart says, April's Fool's Day is stupid. Let's have a day where everyone tells the truth instead. That's every day from me, says Richard. So there we go. Nice stuff from Richard there. LibertySwap says, Mr. Hart is right. Sometimes the strongest strategy is patience. That others rush, cut corners, and expose themselves to hacks and exploits. If at the end of the day, Pulse Chain proves to stand firm, secure, and resilient, that's where the real victory lies. Crypto's history is a way of revealing shortcut eventually. What's rushed or compromised in one place will always surface somewhere else. So, this is the thing, even though Pulse Chain's at all-time low, developers are building, LibertySwap's building, we've got big stuff happening, Richard is working, and the chain is just ticking along, right? You get in some of these other starlight chains like Solana having a lot of big issues and big rugs and things, and that can be a big issue. Now, obviously, Pulse Chains had issues with some of the contract forks, but I think we're through a lot of that stuff now. And so if we just tick along, we're all solid, we should do well just on that alone. So exciting where it might go to. What else have we got? LibertySwap, everything on other chains is collapsing. Pulse Chain is still standing. RH is right. What else we got there? So let me scroll up here a little bit more. So that's pretty much it from LibertySwap. Pretty exciting stuff coming though, right? It's pretty exciting. Now I just want to scroll back a little bit earlier to yesterday, I think it was, on the old PCock before we move on to. I just want to check on Richard Hart. We're going to get into that money as well. A couple extra stuff. They've obviously been still buying and things. I just want to scroll back to something else they posted. Let's see, how far back do I have to go? Scroll. All right, so this is the one here. So 2 big things are coming for PCock. PCock will be available on Coinbase. PCock buyback and burn will be brutally strong. Also, what do you think about VCock there? So they've got lots more products coming, guys. More big listings are happening as well, and I'm getting excited about that. I hope you guys are too. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty exciting now. This is something else I want to look at too. This is the other one that they gave, which was very bullish. This week, our product updates will significantly enhance Liberty. For the first time, Liberty products will be adopted by major partners. So we're obviously got Coinbase potentially listed on there, major partners on Ethereum and other EVM chains. So we're looking out for this, guys. Keep a lookout for that in the week ahead. So this weekend could be pretty explosive as well for LibertySwap. And of course, they're working on that wallet too. So you can see these guys are doing some pretty big stuff on the old Pulse chain, and it's great to have something of this professionalism as well. And it looks like they're about to scale next level with some of these updates. The resulting, and this is really key, I really thought this was key, the resulting free flow of capital through Liberty will be substantial. On-chain analysis will be able to see those movements, providing excellent visibility and serving as a powerful way to showcase both our products and Pulse Chain to broader crypto. Now, if that's also true, then that makes the wallet better as well, and any yield-bearing tokens coming from LibertySwap even more profitable, right? Because there's a lot more volume going through, then you're going to get lots more fees. So I think if you add all that together, it's getting pretty exciting. And that's not even including Liberty Lend, which is coming down a bit later down the line. And at the rate that they're rolling things out, it could be May or June, right, for Liberty Lend. It's probably already ready. I think they actually said it was pretty close to ready. So Liberty Lend's probably only a month away, because they're going to obviously launch one after. So this team is just OMG, just moving so fast with the best of crypto DeFi. And I think there's something to learn here. We got some of the best world-class devs on Pulse Chain, but there's something to learn from LibertySwap about getting products out in time. We don't want to wait 2 years, 3 years for the best product in the world. The market wants to have a rapidly launching team. So if you're a super smart dev, you need to think about that, right? You need to think about actually, would it be better for me to get products out every 2-3 months if assuming you can do that, rather than 2-3 years, right? We don't need the 2-3 years. Let's roll out really good products a lot more, right? So I think that's something for a few of our devs, and we've got some of the world's best devs on the chain to remember. I think their only issue that they have is that they're not very good at rolling out on time, and that could be a couple of years, right? So just a bit of food for thought there. All right, so rapid development. All right, so there we go. That is that. Now I want to go to Internet Money, and then we're going to check out Richard Hart because he's obviously been posting a little bit there. So Internet Money, and I don't know whether it was KG putting it out there. I got to spell Internet Money properly. Internet Money. I'm not sure if it was KG or Internet Money. There we go. And I think they might have had on the release here. Was it this one? Yeah. April the 1st. So Internet Money is growing. Internet total wallet downloads are 115,772. I think I said 117. Pretty close. 115,772 wallet downloads. Isn't that amazing? That's great. Over 100,000. It's cool. iOS is 28,710, up 457. Android is up 49,000, up 1,271, and Chrome is at 37,982, up 500 there. So that's fantastic. Over 2,000 downloads there on the latest update. 2,231, with an average of 77 new downloads per day every day. Isn't that neat? That's pretty neat. We hope to have you been enjoying all the updates with more to come. So pretty cool. And remember, over 40 blockchains as well supported, and they're earning a lot of revenue there. So pretty cool stuff. And the community there responding with lots of support, which is good to see. So Internet Money, LibertySwap, two of our juggernaut protocols on Pulse Chain. And see, we're maturing, guys. We're maturing. And this is what I said. I want to see us mature. I want to see, we've probably got 15 blue chips on Pulse Chain right now. And that means that's a risk-return trade-off in that characterization. But a lot of them will require Pulse Chain to reverse in price, right, to go up, like the DEX aggregators and things. But we do have a couple of dynamic DeFis, and LibertySwap's definitely one of those that can move up pretty nicely. And we know that the LibertySwap ratio to Pulse is moving up pretty nice. We've got a couple other projects doing that too. So there's definitely opportunity on the chain. But hopefully over time, the chain, we get more and more mature. Investors get better at investing, and we're always going to have speculation and all that. That's always the healthy part of the blockchain, and every blockchain has it. But we want to get, if we're going to be, a bigger chain, we want more mature investors, more long-term holders, more, it's just smarter plays there in some ways. And then we'll always have the pump and dumps and all the memes and all the rest of it. That's just crypto. But yeah, pretty cool. Some good stuff happening there. Now let's finally check out Richard Hart, and see where he's at the moment. Richard Hart. And he's obviously been making a few comments. We've got the April Fool's one. We covered that. That's pretty much it. Yeah, the other thing I forgot to talk about was, he updated GoHex and PulseX, I think, as well. So, Richard is working, as devs are working, obviously. And that's kind of cool. So some good stuff there. How we doing for time? 1 hour and 8 minutes. Not bad. So I think that's some of the key stuff there. What are we waiting for? Well, in the short term, I think the next big thing that I'm waiting for is Vault 369 from Fast Abdul. That's going to be getting pretty close from testing. And who knows? Who knows what's happening with Coinwell, the other liquidity fork. Obviously, they take everything down, but we're looking forward to that. Presumably, they're just waiting for market timing, and they'll be back, I guess. So don't know if anyone else got a specific update about that, let me know. So they're working there. I know Jen's been pretty social on the socials. So big shout out to Jen out there. I know she's working on that, but they're definitely tied up to some of the socials there, maybe waiting for the right time in the market there. We'll see. What else? We've got liquidity forks. We got a lot of devs doing a lot of stuff. We got Stu working on all his protocols. We got Jacob working on his. We've got a lot of other devs working on farm technologies. I know Donnie D's out there, Kairos is out there, Psycho's out there. They're all out there building out some quality DeFi in the farming zone. So that's kind of cool too. And they're offering, high yields. We've got True Farm out there offering high yields. So there are high yield farming opportunities, and they seem to be pretty good, operating pretty well. Yeah, we'll keep checking that out. We've got Axel out there that do peer-to-peer. I haven't actually checked up Axel for a while, but doing peer-to-peer lending. So we've got some of that sort of stuff, and we've got a few more leverage plays as well. So Nexian does it with their leverage play. We've got farm factories now as well. So there is a lot of DeFi out there, guys, that you can tap into if that's something that suits your risk return profile. What else? I think that's kind of it. Yeah, James Maria on the move a bit today. Troper, Teddy Bear on the move. OG Web Chef moving up a little bit. What else? Yeah, lots of cool things happening, I guess. But yeah, buying at the bottom. That's kind of. Are we buying at the bottom? It's kind of looks like it, but we'll find the bottom eventually. Feels like it's the bottom this time, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Certainly picking up a lot of volume there. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'll catch you again tomorrow. Shall we meet up again? Besties, best of friends forever. BFFs. I don't know. I keep making these bad jokes, but it's probably time for me to go. All right. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you then. Bye for now.